So for France 2023, I think this is obviously the 10th edition of the Rugby World Cup, and it feels like an anniversary. We come in with so many teams with the potential to get through. You've got one side of the draw which is stacked with the best teams. You've got the other side of the draw who are hoping to sneak through. Lots of matchups that you don't really know how they're going to go. Groups that you don't know who's going to come through as winner and loser. So there is a massive excitement about where the next 4 weeks are going to take us, then into knockout rugby and who ultimately will win it. You know, history says South Africa have won 3, New Zealand have won 3. You can never rule them out. But there's so many good teams out there at the moment. I think it's the most open Rugby World Cup we've had in the 10 sittings. I think with the atmosphere, it's slowly been building for, I would say, 4 months. And now to be here and feel, you know, the first game's tomorrow, feel that sort of excitement building, feel, you know, this French team have really pulled the country together, and you can sort of feel it with how they talk and the atmosphere that's out there. Obviously, the fan zones that are set up. If they can get that win tomorrow, I think things will go off the charts. I think this French team that's taking the field tomorrow is the best French team that we've seen in well over a decade, even 15 to 20 years. I think they look composed. I think they look calm. They've got quality from 1 to 30 in the squad. There used to be a feeling that French could get rattled quite easily. I don't feel you have that with this French team. I think they've been through a few things. They've lost a couple of Six Nations, one on a red card, one on the. Whereas, you know, you look back to the form that they currently show. Obviously, they didn't win the Six Nations, but you know, Ireland have got a very special team at the moment as well. But how they've embraced what is coming to France, how they're wearing that on their shoulders, I think they should feel confident, and they play some outstanding rugby, and I'm sure they'll be in the mix. Well, look, I think Antoine Dupont is going to be up there as one of the greatest nines to ever play the game. I think, you know, he's World Player of the Year for a reason. I think he sets the timing that France tick to. And you know, from a French perspective, I just want to make sure he doesn't get injured and he plays every minute of the game. He's an inspiration as a captain. He's one of those guys who leads from the front, dictates what they do. And you know, you want to see those players play well on this stage, and hopefully he'll do that. Now, England's in a really difficult spot at the moment. Yes, they were runners up in 2019. I feel that they're in a real sort of slump at the moment. I think we've got good players, and I think we can turn it around, but whether they can do that, the warm-up games would suggest not. But I still believe in the characters that are in that team. One win. I mean, Argentina for England is the World Cup final. They have to play the biggest game in their first outing. That should get them into a quarter-final, and hopefully in that time you build momentum and they can then go on and hopefully feature. It's very hard to say you can imagine them winning it, but you just never know. World Cups, once you get to knockout rugby, you just don't know. The first game against Argentina is the bit. They can't leave anything out there. It's not something that they're not in a place where they can build to something. They have to play. Imagine that is the World Cup final, and then deal with the outcome of it, and then rebuild to go into quarterfinals, semi-finals. No. To be honest, at the moment, I don't see them being the favourites. I think they can muster a challenge, and as I say, we are on the right side of the draw. So if they can find some form with what's happening with France, New Zealand, South Africa, Scotland, Ireland, you know, they're going to take chunks out of each other, and you don't know what's going to happen injury-wise. Now with rugby where it is, a red card can cause chaos. So all you've got to do is try and stay in there, try and manage everything, and ultimately believe. And if they can do that, you know, I think they can create a shock, but I don't think they're going in as anywhere near favourites. Just from the grouping, I would see the winner coming out of the France-New Zealand group, because Group B is so hard. Ireland are number one in the world, but their schedule and the side of the draw they're on is terrible. It's terrible for them. Even South Africa, who are built for World Cups, big physical guys. I just think that France and New Zealand have that first big game, and then they can sort of relax a little bit. Not relax, but they'll be able to manage their players, manage their time, and I feel that the winner could come out of those two.